I call like a twilight tour of my backyard garden. You know, it's been a minute, so I thought, you know, it is July 7th, so I thought a good chance for us to kind of look at things and see how they're going. So hopefully you get a chance to watch this and check it out and see all the amazing things that are happening, the things I do well, things that I'm not doing well, just so you can see, again, I'm human. I've done some things well and things that, aren't great. So let's flip you around and let's take a quick tour. We're right by the cactus. I thought you ought to see the update on that. My hearts are growing 3 sizes this day. See, I've got one there. I've got one there. I've got actually a third heart down there. So I've got some cactus growing. Again, if they get too big, I'll take them out. But right now they're doing well. I did mow a little bit because I don't have cattle or goats or anything like that. So I do use my lawnmower sometimes just to chop it down. But I chop it and drop it. I don't bag it. I don't get rid of it. It goes right back in the yard. So I just kind of let it do its thing, break down. And I'll, put it in piles like this one. I'll move it over and make some stuff out of it. I pulled 2 bell peppers off of here, so hopefully I'll get some more flowers coming soon. I believe those are going to be jalapenos. We'll see when they grow up. And of course, this is my basil, that baby basil that's not so baby anymore. I'm so excited about that. The leaves are fantastic and they look amazing. Of course, the sunlight hits them just right and they taste wonderful. So I'm excited as well because my onions are starting to come out, but look at all of these tomatoes. Now, one of the things I did, intentionally or unintentionally, I think it just worked out this way. I was in the wine world for a long time, so I learned that if you grow things north and south, the sun actually hits it as it rises on one side and sets on the other, so you get the maximum amount of sun exposure, but at the same time the roots and everything are in a box, so they're shaded, which I absolutely love. So I get a lot of tomatoes. Also, as soon as they're close to to being done, I'm actually picking them, because if you let them continue to go on, what will happen is they will stop producing because they will have done their job. They will produce fruit and seeds, and then they feel like they're done. I feel like that is not true, so I want to go ahead and keep them going. In my boxes, I've got onions that are just starting to lay over. I'm going to let them stay a little bit longer. I've got these crazy, I think they're could be peppers or zucchini, and I'm just letting them go. In here, look, I've got all these flowers that will eventually be tomatoes coming up soon. I was super stoked because I've had these things just growing up all over, and finally, I think right there, I might have my first, what could be a zucchini cucumber. I don't know. We'll see. Hello, nice to see you. I am doing well. Hello, Ethan. Hello, Bizy. I hope it's Bizy. I've got cucumbers, I think, in there. So I have a lot going on. Exciting. This is my little madness garden. Let me show you one of my mistakes because I think it's also important for you to see that. This right here is a weed patch. That technically is a pea plant, but as you can see, there's no peas because I let it go to weeds. So I would love to tell you I'm good at it. I'm yanking things out now, find out whether that's flowers. These right here are fantastic. Of course, they are garlic scapes, and I do love them. I can go out and just eat them. They're good for your health. They help whenever you have stomach issues and health issues. I've got little plants which I think might be either, again, is going to be peppers or something like that. I don't know if that's something. That might just be a weed. Okay, of course, look at my sage. It's kind of laid down. It's decided to kind of stretch out, and I'm going to let it because I'm like, why not? You deserve it. I've got more either zucchini or whatever these are. It could be cantaloupe. I said, we'll find out as they grow up. I will take you on my wild patch in a minute. I'll show you that because there's a second part to this. Remember that first big bed that I had where I was so excited? I had all these things growing in it. Yes, well, let me just show you. I've got my onions are still in the middle. They're still growing pretty well. I have a tree right there. That is simply just a tree. That I would love to say it's something amazing and magical. It's not. However, I've added some tomato plants. I've got one here. I've got one there that has fruit on it, and that is amazing because it will help with my soil. It'll help bring nutrients into the soil, which I'm excited about that. And then when I'm done, I will chop it and drop it. You can see there's tomatoes on this one. This is the first crop out of this bed. My onions are starting to get a little bit bigger. Look at that red onion. I'm ready for that. I love those. I've got one I have another tomato that went in there. I do have some things that are growing, but again, I have to be careful because I don't know what all of them are. So I'm going to let them just grow. These are beds that are brand new. I actually just filled them at the beginning of the season, so I didn't let them sit for a year, which I probably should have. I have something growing in there. We'll find out what that is when it grows up and it comes in. It's going to be amazing. And then guess what? This is little baby basils as well. So again, that's the smaller version of what I had over there. So as these grow up, they're just starting to come into their own, so they'll be incredible. I've got some other little plants that are coming in. That is a sad tomato that I'm gonna see if I can add some nutrients to and see if it'll grow up. This is actually, that right there is cantaloupe. I've got potatoes in there. I've got other things I just threw in here. This is not any kind of normalcy. I just threw it all in here and let it go to see what happens, and I'm going to do that. Once I get to the end of these and these potato plants start to shrivel at the end, I'm going to pull them out, see what potatoes I have on them. If I can get some new potatoes out of it, great. It didn't cost me anything because I just literally threw old potatoes in here and let them grow. So it didn't hurt anything, it didn't help anything, it just kind of left it the same. So another patch that I want to show you. Last year, these were all pretty and curated. They're not. So I'm like, there's that. And I'm like, it is something that I'm like excited to see just kind of what happens, and I may rip it out and then not do anything with it. But also, the very back side of my property, I leave a wild belt. And I do that for several different reasons. One, it's a pain to kind of mow over here. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. But the other part of it is, these are sunflowers, so they will be very helpful. I also have a place for bugs to thrive, which I want them to, because they'll give me balance. I believe those are going to flower at some point. We will find out. If not, I will mow them. These are going to be sunflowers, of course, as well. And it's kind of wild. I had some onions that I grew in this soil. Now, this soil right here is the rockiest, hardest clay soil you probably have ever seen. And yet, the best place for me to grow those onions was in that soil. I have some of these little sunflowers. I like to have those on there. Daisies, I put them in there. And again, I'm just growing things and letting them grow. If they end up being trees, I'll cut them down. If not, then I'm going to leave them. I will cut these little flowers and put them in for my wife in a vase and create a little arrangement for her to see it so she can see it in our bathroom. I've got these little daisy looking flowers, which are really pretty. Again, I've got some wildness. I've got these little white flowers, which are really quite nice. Here we go. You see those. And then I have this yellow kind of wildness that I let the bees have it. I don't mind if they come and pollinate. I want that to happen because, of course, that will be near my plants. And I want them to have that available. This, again, will be another sunflower, which I will leave. And then I will eventually bring all of the grass and stuff over here, make another compost pile, and start the cycle over with new dirt. So then I can add that as an amendment to my beds, and they will help continue to grow. So understanding that this bed right here and this bed right here, I've had almost 2 or 3 years of crops in it. So I've really been good at the soil, what I put in it, how I, build that soil up and do more with it. This right here, 1 year. So again, it's learning what we need in it, what I need to continue to put in it. I put store-bought soil in here, which is not as good. I'll tell you that right now. So I've got all these little weeds around here. I don't mind it because look, I've got clover. All those clover are going to do. I've got a spider there. Good. Why? Because I want that spider to take care of the flies, which then keeps everything in balance, everything like it needs to be. So I want things here that can keep things in order. I've got crickets in here. I've got roly-polies in here. I've got spiders in here, and I don't worry one bit because they keep everything else in balance. So again, for me, balance and symbiotic relationships are huge, and I want that to happen in my garden as well. Of course, this is rosemary. The front part of it looks a little crazy. Why? Because I had to take it out because it froze. But if you look at the back part, once it grows a little bit longer, pretty soon I will end up cutting it, and you have to give it about a 6 to 8 inch haircut all the way around. When I do that, that is all of the rosemary I will need for the winter until spring of next year, and it is really exciting. So again, I think this is really important as far as what I'm doing. I get excited about all the different things that we have available, even just in our little backyard. And I like to go ahead and add a little bit more to it. And I think it's just kind of fun to see what happens. These seeds I've curated, essentially had them for a couple of years, put them in the ground, and saved them from something else that I either got or I'm reseeding stuff. So I'll let it go to seed at the end of the year. And then I will go ahead and pull those seeds and use them again next year, because the more they're acclimated to my backyard, the better they'll do, the stronger the plants will be, and the genetics will get stronger and stronger, which is also important in plants. So I think that that's very important. So I hope that you've enjoyed this small little tour of my backyard. Kind of wild. It's summertime around here, so it's a little bit loud. Sorry about that. That's the air conditioning. We live in Oklahoma. You will have air on. But I am excited about all that's coming up. Can't wait to show you once I continue to harvest what I pull from here, and when I do that, I'll put it on video so you guys can see it. So have a great evening. Thank you so much, and I hope that you watch my backyard gardening channel and check out all of my other channels as well, because there's a lot of fun stuff on my network.